Paul, are you happy with that, the scoreline and the result?
Would I have took a point before the game? Probably. I think, again, everything considered, playing against a team that's one of the favourites. I was disappointed with the performance first half. Second half was better in some regards. We played backwards far too often first half and almost played, completely within itself. Didn't get tight enough to people. I think we had one really good interception at the near post sort of area. Overall, we haven't given much up and obviously haven't created much ourselves. Kind of mixed feelings, but I think overall, again, we are labouring on the point that I've said going into Saturday and tonight, and it will be the same going into Saturday against Barnet. It's difficult at the minute. You saw in terms of subs, Foxy was coming on, and then we had an injury which forced one sub on with Sean Pearson and Dave coming off. Aware that Tails was going to have to come off and Lenny on, so didn't want to play that last one too early. But it goes back to what I said. If you have the 5 subs, it makes life a hell of a lot easier for everyone. And people can say, "Oh, should be fit." Well, we haven't been able to train, so that's not really our fault. It's just the world that we're living in.
You mean play the 5 subs, so you're allowed to bring 5 on?
Well, either that or just go with 7 subs and you're allowed to use more. I don't know. Just at the minute, like I said, people might say, or have more opportunity to put them on. Just a bit, like I said, only because of the times that we're living in, and that's where I think we were suffering a little bit. Seb's craning tonight and obviously cramping up quite a bit earlier. And people are out on the feet, and I think that, in fairness, that's probably them as well, a little bit, a couple of the players. But certainly, it feels like there's a bit of character there. 2 clean sheets is obviously pleasing. If you're not going to win the game, then don't lose it. And like I said, coming here tonight, I thought that we made life difficult for them, stopped them certainly having dominating possession. And creating too many chances.
So your first half waving, I think it was the wing backs who were trying to get them forward, because it became a back 5 more often than a back 3 at times.
Yeah, and at times that can happen, but we spoke about it where maybe from a goal kick or something, back 5, but then after that I felt the difference was when we passed to our wing backs, they were immediately engaged, whereas their players seemed to be able to get the ball, have a bit of time and then start either running or finding a pass. And I thought Mishi in particular, the difference between first half and second half was a lot. There was a big difference in his performance, and sometimes it can be a little bit of understanding, but it also can be, like we've talked about, just being kind of too cautious, careful, and in almost a bit of a sort of comfort zone without doing too much wrong, but certainly not making life difficult enough for the opposition.
You mentioned subs. I think Alex Hunt was going to come off for Ben Fox, but he had got a bit of a second wind after that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It was a consideration that we were looking at, certainly. But I had no real worries about him in lasting the game, so that obviously ended up changing. The one thing I would say was just seeing the disallowed goal back. I didn't think there was much at the time, and I'd be extremely disappointed if my centre half got kind of just very, very slightly eased off the ball. I don't think that is given very often. I think the referee just made his mind up. Kind of almost gets outside the ball and gets himself in a bad position. There's hardly any contact, but he couldn't wait to blow his whistle.
Well, soft at best, wasn't it?
Extremely, and then we potentially could have been talking about a 1-0 win and 6 points, which I'm not saying we particularly deserve that, but sometimes that's how you win games. And like I say, what I was pleased with, again, balls in his box. I think we won most. I think Madden had a header towards the end but was offside. The lads played it well, hard to see from down here. So yeah, pleased with some aspects, and I don't get me wrong, for the fans that came over, again, absolutely fantastic support. I hope that they understand what we kind of are dealing with a little bit. Respect the effort that the players are putting in, but with them, I'm sure I expect us certainly to get better and better on the ball, as we were on Saturday, in fairness. But tonight, when you come to a team like this, these times, like I said, we're in so much of a rush to pass the ball backwards. First, I think 30 seconds of the second half, Crooksey plays the ball down the line, McAtee runs in behind, we win a corner. It's not sometimes rocket science. Can't play that ball every time we get it, but you can do it to start and stretch teams. And I thought Sean Pearson, when he came on, again, played some really nice balls that took us from one end of the pitch to the other, rather than going nowhere, going back to Macca, kick in and then maybe losing that first header and we're back defending. Sometimes, a little bit of, just like I say, understanding, expect your experienced players to take charge of that a little bit, because you can't, unfortunately, control everything from the touchline.
You mentioned David Longking's injury. He seemed to be struggling with it just before half-time. What is it, do you know?
A groin, I believe. I don't know if it was when he actually did that piece of defending. So straight away, that you'd think is a concern there for the weekend. But ultimately, we'll have to wait and see. Give it a couple of days and find out whether we're a man lighter or not. I'd say I thought Sean came on and did extremely well. Crooksey, I think, showed 100% he can play at left centre back, which kind of knew anyway, but he showed that. And ultimately, I've got to pick a team to try and beat Barnet on Saturday.
And will it have a new striker in it? Different way of asking the same question, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I like what you've done there. I don't know. I mean, the windows, is it shut now? Not quite shut, is it? But will be very, very soon. And like I said, that might just change some people's situations. So I'll have a look at that. I'm sure that agents will be back on and see if anything changes. But if I'm honest right now, I would say the chances are probably slim. But as always, that can change in sort of one or two phone calls.